contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Heavyweight
Podcast.
We're gonna make
The World Heavyweight Podcast.
great again! Nerd! Nerd!
Entering the ring at this time, your tag team champions of the podcast world, Howard Farewell. But we're just waiting for the wheels to fall off. Yes, 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 yes. Get rid of your six-sided ring array. Josh Rivera.
God does not want this podcast to happen.
You happy I brought my shovel to bury this segment?
What station is it again? Who gives a fuck?
Yabba dabba, shut the fuck up.
The World Heavyweight Podcast.
I don't care how big, how tough, or what they've accomplished. They're nerds.
Plus, if you have ovaries, prepare to lose them.
There it is. There it is, Josh. It's a wonderful day. Oh my God, that song is beautiful right now. How great is that? I'm gonna let it play this entire time. I'm gonna drop it all the way down here. Hang on there.
The Castle Conspiracy
The
is over.
Peacock era is here.
Has begun.
We live in a post-Peacock world, sir. Welcome to the World Heavyweight Podcast. I'm Howie Farrell. That over there is Josh Rivera. Keep in touch with us at all times at the WHPC on Twitter, Facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast. WorldHeavyweightPodcast.podbean.com is that area that you can just, if you don't have an aggregator, you just want to listen to the show, you want to donate something, hit that PayPal button, do all the things. Subscribe.
Like.
I notice a lot of you guys are watching or listening via just like the regular, just like website-y sort of stuff. Yeah, I don't know why. You got podcast apps. Find them. They're free. They're easy. You just hit the subscribe button. Updates to your phone. Nice and easy.
Sir, that sounds way too convenient. The desktop at my office works just fine.
Hey, if that's what they're doing to listen,
Sure.
I don't mind at all. As long as they're listening. But you can, like I said, keep in touch. You can voice your opinions to us at the WHPC on Twitter, Facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast. It's been a good week.
Oh, it was.
And when you're on those things, tell all your friends too. Let them know that you've got some fun nerds that you hang out with at least once a week. We're gonna have a couple of things coming up. I'm listening. I'm letting this whole thing play out. I don't care. Whenever this song ends is when it ends.
That's fine.
But it's great.
You're about to say a lot of your friends don't listen to a lot of podcasts, so you're telling them about it, just like all our listeners should tell their friends about our podcast.
Yeah. I was going to say something besides before that, and I've completely forgotten now because I was going in a nice little area, and I got distracted by the music. Yeah, right.
Coffee, pizza, we're ready to podcast.
Yeah, we certainly are. Shit, I've completely lost my train of thought now.
Well, you're listening to Dalton Castle's music.
Yeah, I can't help but be excited. So, I mean...
Final battle was pretty awesome.
Oh, it was pretty fantastic. There's a lot of things to talk about this week. A ton of them. From ladies' matches to all of Final Battle. Clash of Champions was pretty good. Wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good way to end the year.
There's lots to get into here. I like have completely forgotten where I'm going now. I don't know why.
Just pick
I had everything. It was going to be professional about everything, and it's just kind of fallen by the wayside.
It's like going to the bar. There's 5 ways to get there. Which one do you think has the least amount of road stops?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get to now. But let's go into. Thank you, Dalton. It's been wonderful. Dalton Castle is your new Ring of Honor World Champion.
Champion of the world.
Champion of the world, and it's wonderful. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch Final Battle, find out how to do it. I mean, you need to. It was great. I had a wonderful time. Although apparently everybody else just can't enjoy fucking fun anymore, and people have to shit on everything.
I don't know. Everybody.
Also, and on that point,
yeah.
Fuck you if you don't like Star Wars right now. Like
Good,
seriously, fuck you. You're allergic to fun.
We saw it over the weekend in 3D because that's
wonderful.
That's one of those few franchise exceptions you make with 3D. Yeah, you're willing to pay the $18 for
sure,
3D.
Whatever.
It's like, give me Star Wars, and it was
great.
A blast. It was great.
I loved it.
It had every little element in a Star Wars film that there is.
Yeah, it had lightsabers. It had fucking AT-ATs. I got space battles. I was entertained throughout.
This is going to be a spoiler for your account, but I imagine it might because it didn't go the way that some people wanted it.
Yeah, because they got all bitchy that they got rid of like the cool books that they enjoyed. It's not that you can't still enjoy them; they're just not official. It's just really well published fan fiction at this point, which is fine. Relax. Nobody else cares. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I didn't think it was...
Those nerds should just stick to Game of Thrones, and that's it.
Well, there was things where they were saying, like, I guess they didn't like how Luke was portrayed, or like they didn't make big deals about things that they should have made big deals about.
Yeah.
They did it right. There was enough comedy to seriousness, and that was a dark movie.
Oh, yeah.
That was a dark movie. And I was not expecting it to be as dark. And it was awesome. If you haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, seriously.
Check it out.
Go see it.
Check it out.
I'm just annoyed that nobody can just let other people have some fucking fun. It's like it's been the 2 weeks. It's felt like everything cool that I've liked. There's been some fucking fun police trying to ruin it for everyone.
Right?
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I.e. people on Twitter.
Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer came in like Sandman, and at some point during the match had lightsabers in their hands. And if you follow us on Instagram,
about that.
Follow us on Instagram because we'll post stuff to the story and things like that. Because I actually have a phone that does that sort of thing now again.
Oh yeah,
so you can see us crying, laughing.
Yeah.
At the ridiculousness that we're watching during it's a pro wrestling match. There's not enough of that ridiculous in pro wrestling. So and people were probably, I can understand, like, I first rolled my eyes when I saw what they did. I'm like, really? All right, this is ridiculous. And it went from, what did I say that night? It went from ridiculous to nasty in the span of like 30 seconds.
Real quick.
It was, and that's one of those matches that you went through the spectrum of feelings. You went from, oh, this is going to be nasty and brutal to, oh, this is silly. Oh, we're having a good time to, oh, he's bleeding a lot.
So Final Battle was kind of like Star Wars in the sense that some people didn't like it. Some people complained about the six-man championship
The only
match.
reason that somebody's really getting into
What do you think it was going to be, man?
The people that are quote-unquote pissed about the six-man are people that don't watch wrestling.
Mostly.
Or that's all it is. That's all that discussion that's going around right now. It's just people don't watch
If that's their reason, like, this is stupid, and, oh, do you watch the show, the other shows regularly? No? Well, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, then your opinion is not valid here among the nerds.
You know? A lot of UFC guys chirping. The guys I've never heard of, I could care less about. But, you know, you get, like, Daniel Cormier, who says, like, man, this is not what pro wrestling's supposed to be like. So you get Scott Dawson tweeting, like, I agree 100%, brother. Where should I be sending your Revival T-shirt?
That's from
like
a guy
that.
who gets it too. Like, you know, like, all right, yeah, no flips, just fit. That's our whole point.
And then what happened after that? You get Bully Ray on Twitter calling out the Bucks to a match against him and Dreamer. Like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly the way it's supposed to go.
That's exactly what you do.
Yes.
And good. Because that match was fun. Like, all those matches were fun. It's just like, you had the Young Bucks and Adam Page and a bunch of lucha dudes. What did you think was going to fucking happen?
Believe it or not.
They were going to fly all over the place.
Believe it or not, the Bucks are fluent in lucha. so that booking just made, for what it was, it made sense. I mean, trios titles are a Mexico thing anyway, really.
Yeah.
So
it's just it's supposed to do that. That's one of those but that's the thing too, like, if you look through what we're ended up talking about is like a bunch of UFC guys just started coming out and taking a shit on it. But the point I was going to make was the only reason some of those guys were even doing that was, A, it was trending,
Yeah.
And B, what better way to get heat for whatever? I think there was a free one on Saturday on Fox. There was UFC on Fox, or there was a. It wasn't a pay-per-view, but it was a bigger event. Like it was either UFC on Fox or an FX1 Fight Night one. So they were trying to gain interest for it. So what better way to do it than get some little crossover and shit on something else to get some heat on you, and then get your thing trending for the weekend.
That's how Twitter works.
Yeah, exactly.
By the formula.
So, but the six man, come on, it was a lucha match, and then you also have a bunch of other good wrestling in there. So you run the gamut with Final Battle.
I'm sorry, I couldn't follow how terrible it was over all the cheers in the audience.
And all the streamers.
They were distracting me.
But I mean, if you look at the rest of the card, you had a bunch of other good matches too. You had good singles matches. That Jay Lethal Marty Scurll match was fucking wonderful.
To be continued, sir. After Wrestle Kingdom, I'm willing to bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna. See
I would
that
hope
again,
so.
Hopefully,
which we will get into Wrestle Kingdom. I have a couple of plans for things coming up in the future, so I want to take a quick pause on the Final Battle talk because we do have a couple of outside wrestling things. But
we can move on for Final Battle.
It's pretty quick for this Final Battle stuff to talk about, but because we really haven't even talked about Dalton Castle yet. So, but I'm trying to get a few folks that have been on the show before and trying to get them on a little bit more regularly, as I'm saying, but because we're going to take a break for Christmas.
Yes.
Right? We're not doing a show next week. Or we might do a show next week. So I want to have a couple of things lined up, which I might try and record today or tomorrow or in the next couple of days with Jermaine from the Royster Report, which you can find on wonderful Bill Apter's site, onewrestling.com. I think we're going to do Kyle from the Obtuse Angles podcast, and I'm going to try and get Lola on again, and maybe somebody from that wrestling podcast as well. So we're going to try and see if I can get together at least 2 or 3 like one-on-one episodes and do all the best of the year talk to try and solidify some #WHPC awards.
Okay.
And get some nominations there. So be on the lookout for those. And back to Final Battle. Because we have XFL talk. Believe it or not, I didn't know that we were going to fucking have that this week. Like, wait, what? But back to Final Battle. Like I was saying, you run the gamut of everything that they have, like wrestling wise. You had a lucha match, which was a bunch of guys flying all over the place with the Young Bucks. You had a 4-way survival match for the TV title. You had a singles match between the villain Marty Scurll and Jay Lethal, which, by the way, was probably match of the night.
You think it was? It definitely.
It was one of their best matches on the card by far.
I think that match probably stuck with me the most since the weekend. Especially the Eddie spot.
Yeah,
going in with the little hype package they made. It's gonna be the villain versus what he hopes to be the villain in Jay Lethal.
Yeah,
and you got a little bit of that, and it was great.
It was really good. And the spot he's talking about, at one point, Marty takes in a chair, and then like goes to hit him with it, and then Jay Lethal he does the thing. He looks at the. He looks at the freaking chair.
He whacks the ring with it while the ref's not looking, and then tosses Jay the chair and does the old Eddie bump.
Right. And then Jay Lethal looks at it and then goes, wait, and then puts his head in and then kind of closes it over his head and falls back and lies down on the ground with a chair across his head.
To a crowd erupting. That's just a spot you don't see very often.
You don't see that one at all. You see the Eddie spot every so often too. But the part where the nice little twist on it is like, oh, he put it around his head, and it's like Marty looks up, it's like, wait, what? No.
Did you hit him? He's like, no, he hit me.
It was just a really fun. So we also had a new television champion crowned.
Mm-hmm. The last real man.
Yeah. Silas Young could very well be breakout star of the year, sir. He's had a very, very good 2017 with that feud from Jay Lethal that lasted a long fucking time, by the way. And multiple big matches. Plus, he finishes it off as the new television champion. The Beer City Bruisers are the greatest, by the way. Just
I think Colt said it best. Like, everyone needs to be like the Beer City Bruiser, just hanging out ringside, drinking a beer and smoking a cigar during this match.
this giant fat dude carrying a 6-pack and a keg. It's the dumbest thing ever. He's only there for the gimmick. He's not going to be a #1 singles guy, I don't think, anytime soon.
Nah, but they're the heel bad guy team. Yeah.
It's fun. War Machine had a match against The Addiction, which was pretty good. None of the there was a tag title match, correct? Am I wrong? Who has the tag
Motor
title?
City and
right.
Oh my God, who they wrestled?
Best Friends.
Best Friends. That's right, the Best Friends.
Which was really funny. But again, like I said, you get all these matches. You get comedy. You get entertaining, real quote unquote pro wrestling. You get lucha stuff. You do all the lucha things, and it's fun. It's just fun.
Chair shots to the head. You get some blood.
And there's blood. There was blood all over the place. Like, if you really wanted to see somebody bleed, guess what? Final Battle had you covered.
3 words: New York Street Fight.
Oh yeah. 2 words: Fight Club. Because Cody Rhodes came out with the new blonde hairstyle, and he looked like Jared Leto from Fight Club.
He's going for his dad, I'm guessing.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. But he looked like Jared Leto in Fight Club to me.
Especially after the match.
Right. Yeah. He was just cut open, bleeding everywhere. And we get the greatest Dalton Castle entrance I think I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a quick sidecar there. The production on the show was New Japan level awesome.
Oh yeah, it was very good.
What Final Battle in New York City kept missing the mark on was production. We got the bigger screens. We got a little bit of you can't do pyro necessarily in New York City, but a lot of smoke, no problem. This year they really stepped it up with the LEDs
around the
square
the
LEDs
above.
Like around the entire ring, or the lighting
electrical.
Everything with the new camera, a lot of new camera angles, the long ramp to the stairs, whereas before the stairs were all the way to hell back there, and then you had a nice long dark ass path.
It felt like a big wrestling promotion was in a small arena.
Yeah, it's still, they still had a few issues here and there, like announcing a Ring of Honor Women's Championship was pretty awesome. The only thing that was kind of bothering me was couldn't see any of the ladies that were standing behind them because there was no light at all back there.
Yeah, that's the one really, outside of Dalton Castle winning, that's the second big news that came out of Final Battle. There's a lot of women's news to come out. Let me get them their sound.
My two favorites again.
Lady.
A lot of news with the ladies.
My two favorites for that are Deanna and Kelly Klein. That's going to be
yeah, it's gonna be great.
that's gonna happen.
But what they announced is, as Josh just mentioned, Women of Honor is getting a title now. Finally, it's long overdue. But they really didn't have a division before.
No, these past 2 years felt like it was just like one long ass beta test.
Yeah,
and they're finally putting a stamp on like, all right, we're actually going to have more shows regularly.
And they also didn't really have a roster.
No, they didn't.
Like, you had Kelly Klein, Mandy Leone.
Literally, only a handful of them have been there from the beginning.
Yeah, and
of the reboot.
Right, and it just hasn't been. They haven't really had a roster to really give us a whole lot of entertainment without boring us with the same 3 matches. Yeah. So now that they've got a good roster of women, we can actually maybe see something. But going back to the production thing too, is with their screens and stuff, it was set up a little bit more. Like, if you look at Final Battle last year to Final Battle this year, and it's almost night and day. Like, you went from it looking like an indie show with people sitting on the entrance and stage where they are, to now it's like, no, this is a show. You guys get down there, and everything is just looking so much better on the production side of things. With
it looked like what G1 USA should be, and probably will be next time it comes around, which I think as early as March, but that's what something we'll talk about later.
Right. But going back, Dalton Castle, greatest entrance ever.
Yes.
He came in on like one of those old school vaudevillain boats, like a
powered by boys,
powered by boys, like a Greek god.
And the boys are back as well, which is wonderful.
Yes.
And then
They found him there. They stopped him mid shipment to wherever they Cody sent them.
And it was one of the most fun matches I've had in a while. It wasn't my favorite match of the year, other than the fact that fuck man, they're pulling the trigger on Dalton Castle. I've never been more happy with a result of a match all year long.
Yeah.
That I'll say that.
That did kind of blow you the hell away. It was like, wait a minute. Well, first he kicks out of the crossroads, and then wait a minute, Batarang. Oh my God, that's it! It's over. He won. He won.
Yeah. Yeah, I was losing my mind.
That's your replay.
It was great.
That's your replay from Friday.
Yes! Oh my God, he won! Oh my God, Dalton Castle's a champion! Holy shit, they're doing it! Yes!
The Peacock era is upon us.
Yeah, it certainly is, sir. It was wonderful. And there's a reason that our new profile pic is Dalton Castle with the title sitting on his boys.
Lounging. That's
Lounging, I'm sorry. Brunch has not been canceled.
Never again.
Brunch will never be canceled.
Never again will brunch be canceled. I am the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Mimosas for everyone.
Yes, that's right.
You done messed with the wrong flapjack.
Dalton Castle 2020. You're gonna see those shirts the next couple months. Watch.
It'll be very interesting. Dalton Castle. I'm just super excited. So moving on from Ring of Honor into the other stuff, we had a couple of things that happened. I want to get to the outside stuff, and we'll get back into wrestling. I kind of went a little out of order here.
This is a new segment.
Two things that I sort of are outside. In a crazy woken Matt Hardy tweet, he kind of announced that they've been taping stuff at the compound for WWE, which is only good.
Absolutely.
It's only good news.
Wait.
It's only hang on.
Are they following the
Good news, everyone.
Are they following the successful formula that was the Broken Hardys and Impact? That it was.
I think so. And it just gives them because he has a compound, obviously, to just do whatever they want as far as filming goes. And now if you go like, hey, let me do this, give me your production team, let's go. Let's make this as ridiculous as we can. And he's got the area of land to do it. They don't have to worry about permits. They don't have to worry about just don't anybody get hurt.
Yes.
That's all you have to do. And they're like, oh, so we get to save a bunch of money and use our own team for this? Let's do it.
We got hire a local lifeguard for the Lake of Reincarnation. That's the only thing that's going to be standing out sticking out like a sore thumb. Like you just see it's Matt and Jeff talking, and in the background you see a guy just sitting there in his trunks
with the little red floaty thing.
Yeah, the red floaty thing, just like, yep. Whenever they need me, I'll be here.
He's got a lifeguard stand on the beach of reincarnation.
The beach of reincarnation. That's what it's missing, a beach.
Oh, he's sitting in Skarsgård. He's got a life preserver with him.
Ready to paddle out whenever it needs to.
So that's good news I'm okay. Look, Matt Hardy can disappear for 2 months if he just keeps showing up on TV and pre-produced packages like that.
Yeah, those two do not need to touch until their match.
Yeah. Oh no. WrestleMania. Yeah. Wait for WrestleMania. I don't care. I don't need it at Rumble. I don't need it wherever. Cool. Macaulay Culkin is apparently a wrestler now. Or no, I don't. Apparently, Macaulay Culkin showed up into a wrestling ring and started using Home Alone tactics. Check that one out. But I don't know why I even mentioned that. It's on here, and I looked at it and I said it.
The mainstream media picked it up.
Oh yeah, that's why.
Because Macaulay Culkin was there, and like that's whenever it's something like that,
something bigger than that. Sorry.
And not so and so got hurt or killed. Always a plus for independent.
Oh yeah.
Always a plus.
Yeah, because anytime quote unquote a celebrity shows up.
Yeah.
To a wrestling show, it's only good for everybody.
Yeah.
Like there was fucking the Fun Police showed up about that one too. It's like, God damn it. Somebody did something fun for themselves. Stop hating on it.
It's just Joey Ryan hate because it's one of Joey Ryan's promotions. He books it and he's like, look at this, guys. This is great. Like my bookings are already up for the next show. This is nothing but a positive thing. So you got those little Nick Pippers. They didn't mention you by name or
Who
Who cares? The locals recognized the building and they already bought tickets.
Exactly.
So shut the fuck up. It's called getting dick money, and I'm the best at it. He's the best at getting dick money.
He
What
is.
can I say?
He is. But in other news, Vince McMahon is getting back into football.
Yeah.
This is not
That's
a
weird one.
drill.
That's a weird one.
This is not a drill. This is real. Let me pull up the news report so I get the official thing on there. The quote is, Vince McMahon has established and is personally funding a separate entity from WWE Alpha Entertainment to explore investment opportunities across sports entertainment landscape, including professional football. That is from an official statement from the WWE, and what that essentially says is that Vince is taking his own fucking money and making a new company separate from WWE, and he's getting back into football.
That's his own little side project. Nothing to do with WWE this time. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm not super excited because I'm not a super excited sports guy. But depending, let's see how it goes. Maybe I can get into it. You're more interested in me. Right
I'm interested and curious. I'm not excited about it. It's interesting. I'll be sure to pay attention to see what news and things come out about it.
Wait a minute. This is wrestling dirt sheets. And where are you reading this from?
No, this is from TWM.news.
TWM.news.
No fake news. No fake news at TWM.news. That should be their slogan. No fake news at TWM.news.
That's how we plug it. Like,
there you go.
Wait a minute. What dirt sheet is this from TWM.news? No fake news, just all real stuff.
Yeah, for the most part, I've you'll get some commentary and stuff from them, but those will be on editorial posts. Like, that's different than, they don't clickbait you either. They'll just give you the straight shit. So they also started to register a few trademarks. The trademarks include United Football League, URFL, U lowercase RFL, UFL, and For the Love of Football. So I think we are sort of discussed this a little bit when the 30 for 30 came out about the XFL, because it sort of says they have the Dick Ebersol, Vince McMahon little dinner powwow that they're having there, and it kind of makes them think that they would be interested in getting into doing something like that again, and I think this might be it. I mean, I'm interested.
This isn't a date. This is business. That's
right.
What that was.
I mean, one of the quotes from the 30 for 30 from Charlie Ebersol, Dick Ebersol's son, was one of the things that was a big mistake, and hopefully they'll learn from a lot of the mistakes they made the first time, which is why I think enough time has passed. You learn from some of those mistakes. The NFL's down on ratings.
This is
kind of a perfect opportunity. Yeah. The biggest mistake they made with the XFL was that they only gave players 30 days to train together, which I forgot. Yeah, you can't. Look, 30 days is to play a professional sport at a high level. You got guys who were working Bed Bath & Beyond, and 30 days later they're in the XFL. They spent 6 to 8 months marketing, 30 days training.
That wasn't training, that was a crash course.
Exactly. If they'd done 4 and 4, they sold this thing like an iPhone, and they rolled it out like whatever piece of crap Motorola put out. So it's pretty much is exactly true. Like, if you had... That's one of the big mistakes. Plus, the rules changes a little bit, like with the goofy fucking kickoff thing where they had to fight over a ball at the beginning of the game instead of a coin toss was dumb. I think what would work...
This time, it's a chairs match.
If you just make it regular football,
yeah,
but put a little bit of show around it and make it fun, which is something that the NFL has seriously been lacking over the last couple of years with the rules for celebrations.
Been all over the NFL for years now, and it's really starting to show.
I'm not saying change the rules to allow bigger hits and stuff like that, because keep it with safety in mind and concussions and all that, but relax the rules a bit on certain things, like cornerbacks fighting wide receivers. In the NFL, you got 5 yards and you're not allowed to physically put a hand on the guy. Pretty much,
that's a lot.
It's like you get 5 yards to stick your hands into his chest and bump him a little bit. Allow that to be a little bit more relaxed. Allow more bumping on the outside. Allow guys to play defense a little bit harder, a little bit more stiffer.
Yeah, the whole point is to get in position to catch a goddamn football.
I think they should do something a little bit more like almost an arena thing. Get rid of the kicker.
Yeah. Like,
don't allow point after attempts after a touchdown.
I got an idea. T-shirt gun. Shoot the ball out of a T-shirt gun.
But what I mean is more like, instead of having him go for 1 point after, force him to go for 2 every time.
Yeah. like a longer yardage and shit.
No, well, I mean, just force them to have to score a 2-point conversion and eliminate the fact that they can go for one. It's either you get 6 and you make the 2, or you get 6 and that's it. So, because that would make it more interesting, because now you got guys like, all right, because it's never a guaranteed 2 points at that point.
Yeah, you can't strategize out of a potential gimme 1 point.
Exactly,
1 point gimmies,
exactly. So you have teams that are, they'll have a very good special teams in short yardage situations.
There is one rule they have to be very strict about. Mandatory celebration with touchdowns.
Yes, mandatory touchdown celebrations. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fan bonus points for a good one.
That is one of those things where, like, you think that they relaxed on the NFL celebrations now. Let it go. Just let them do whatever they want as long as they're not flipping people off. Fuck it. Let them flip people off.
Yeah.
Be the ECW of football.
Yes.
Without getting rid of the football. You
or
know what
endangering
I mean?
the fans.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But just be that different thing that people are going to go, yo, dude, this guy came out and he did like a backflip over the thing after he scored a touchdown. You got to see this guy.
My team scored, and then they reenacted a heist robbery.
They redid the final scene from Heat.
Yeah, they stuck up the tellers. They got the imaginary cash. Then they hopped in the actual golf cart and then took off to the bench. It was pretty epic.
That would be amazing. They get the medical cart.
Yeah. Yeah. The opposing team chases them, but
they got one guy acting like they're gut shot in the back. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm in. You know what? I'm sold. XFL 2.0. Let's fucking do it, folks. Oh, speaking of football, I want to mention the finals for the fantasy football thing.
Yeah, you're not in it.
I'm not in it. Still not in it. But the Glorious 11 will be taking the fight to Nerds for Brawn. I'm in the Sacco this week.
Yes.
We have to call it something. I'm the AKA the don't lose this game or you're last. And I guess who I'm fighting? Ask about me.
So it's up. So I like how 6 weeks ago it was without a question. Oh, I'm going to destroy Ask About Me. Now it's just like
now because I haven't. Because I
confidence
lost.
destroyed.
I lost. I don't know what happened.
Yep.
But Nerds for Brawn is fighting Glorious 11 in the final, which should be interesting because Nerds for Brawn is the number 1 point scoring team in the league all year long by almost 50, 60 points.
God damn.
But the Glorious 11 has somehow figured out his way through the playoff ranks, beating thank God Captain Fatbelly lost. I would have been angry if he didn't beat him, to be honest. I would be less upset that Josh is in the finals. He put a fucking stomping to him. Look at that score, 165. Yeah, said fuck you and your couch and the horse you rode in on. So Glorious 11 versus Nerds for Brawn. I hope Nerds for Brawn wins, but it's gonna be a close one. But enough football talk. We're done with football.
We got plenty
right?
of other talk to get
Yeah, we
to.
got plenty of other talk. The biggest news outside of... do you want to go to Clash of Champions and then get into the biggest news outside of Clash of Champions?
We were just talking about news. Let's go right into news of Clash of Champions. After Clash of Champions. WWE news. Go for it.
We're getting a Women's Royal Rumble.
It's happening, folks.
I told you.
Stephanie made it.
When
interrupted a boring 6-man that no one really wanted to see again.
That's the only thing I had a problem with.
Superficial.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying like, no, they should do a tag team. No, you don't have enough.
No.
You have way more ladies to pull off a Royal Rumble.
Hey. They have enough to do a tag team division. But let's start with what's convenient and coming up, and that is the Royal Rumble next month.
It makes way more sense too. You gave them that injection of extra competitors these last couple of weeks, and I feel like they're kind of. I'll get into how I feel about that. We're getting a ladies' Royal Rumble.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's happening this year.
And there's no details yet if it's a 20-man, a 30-man,
woman.
20 woman, 30 woman. There's going to be one man, and that's going to be James Ellsworth.
No, he doesn't work here anymore. Does not work here anymore.
It's okay. A lot of people don't work here
Josh,
anymore,
put on a dress and say you identify as a girl and join. Give you the first ever.
I'm going to come out.
Women's Royal Rumble winner.
I'm going to come out.
Josh
and I'm
in a
gonna yell,
dress.
Microaggression. And just start punching bitches in the face.
It'll be interesting to see
Sister Abigail join
to see how it goes, but it's huge news. Huge. I don't know. It would make more sense for them to do 20, wouldn't it? Like they don't have 30.
Well,
unless they add everybody from NXT.
Well, that's the thing. With Royal Rumble rules, you can do whatever you want. You could have people from NXT. You could have people you could have legends from the past. You could have people that don't work here and just show up.
Yeah, you could.
For a spot. You know who was in the States? You know who was in the States last week?
Who was that?
Or 2 weeks ago?
I don't know.
Bull Nakano was in the States a couple weeks ago for a Rise show. You could very well see Medusa on top of that.
Yeah.
It's all possible. Like the door is wide open to cool things. That's why you should be excited.
If there was any question to whether Royal Rumble was going to be a little long this year,
oh yeah,
here's your answer. It's going to be real fucking long.
How do we make sure we're booking 5 hours?
We're getting 4 hours of show for sure.
Second Royal Rumble.
Match. Yeah. I think 20 would make more sense just to not exhaust us.
Yeah.
And when do you do that? You have to maybe start the show with the Women's Royal Rumble.
I don't know, but
just because you want to bookend the show with Rumbles.
Yeah, I see it going less than an hour and getting at least 20 to 30. That's totally doable. And
I feel like just to spread it out, just to make it so that we don't have like 2 Royal Rumbles back to back, which will be fucking ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous.
Start with the women.
Yeah.
Finish with the men.
Agreed.
Because that gives us plenty of time. We get a big, long first match.
Yeah.
Whatever's after that, God help whoever's after that. Because everyone's going to need a break.
Totally going to be a tag team match. Probably.
God help whoever follows the Women's Royal Rumble, if it starts.
Mojo versus Zack Part 2.
Sure. Whatever. But they're going to be, if they don't do it bookended, I don't know how you do that right. To where that...
Yeah, they're gonna probably book.
It's gonna be a long show. Prepare yourselves, folks.
Just like Hell in a Cell, they bookended it. They started with a Hell in a Cell tag team match, which was fucking great, and they ended with a Hell in a Cell match.
Right, but more importantly, you know what this means?
What?
We have to do 2 pools now.
Mm-hmm.
So during the Royal Rumble Fan Fest Spectacular that we're going to be having here in the cave.
Yep.
We will have to do 2 Royal Rumble pools, so that just means more money for somebody possibly.
Our odds of winning from
it. I've never won the Royal Rumble pool yet. We may even have Fred and the gang coming over, the originators for when I started doing this thing. So
cool.
Fred
could take our money again. That's all that son of a bitch does. He's a cool guy, but man, he keeps walking out. He keeps walking out with our money.
Since we did the changing the way we drew instead of just putting 30 and drawing 30, because if you just do that, you can have one person end up getting like 1 through 5, just because all the numbers are in there, right? So if you do, it's like, all right, here we go. We're gonna pick 1 through 10, and we're gonna put 10 in. Then all right, when we do that, the extra left over. Then 11 through 20, and then 21 to 30, and then whatever's left over goes back out. As soon as we started doing that, Fred started winning everything, like everything. He won like 2-3 years in a row, I think. Some kind of money came back to him.
Change the rules or something.
It's luck of the draw at some point. Like he got lucky because now he was finally
longer than 18 inches. You do not get another number.
Well, because it was just one of those things. Because he was always getting shit numbers. Like he was always getting like 2, 6, 11, 10, and always being in that area. But now, since everybody gets a little bit more of an even chance at least of getting one of each area of the card, so you're going to at least always get one in the first 10, one in the middle 10, and one in the last 10, just to make it so where it's not completely just one person getting dicked over of bad luck.
Absolutely,
year.
because the first 15 numbers historically
no one ever
do
wins.
not win often.
No, not at all. Like, oh, number 1. I went pretty far last year.
Yeah.
Because I had the 61-minute man, Chris Jericho.
Unless the Royal Rumble starts with Shawn Michaels at number 1, your odds are not good.
That was the only thing that made me excited. It's like, oh, cool, I'm getting Chris Jericho. I have a shot. I have a legitimate shot here of taking this all the way, and I didn't. He got to the Final Four last year, didn't he?
Unfortunately, though, if you want to see Jericho in 2018, it's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Oh yeah, that's other
That's
sort
official.
of other news.
That's
yeah. He said, "Yeah, I'm not going to be at Mania. You got to see me in Japan."
Yep.
Great. What if he wins?
He could very well win, sir. That's what I'm saying. He goes. We're sidetracking, but he goes. He goes. Am I booked for? Am I going to do any other shows in Japan? Maybe.
Why not?
Maybe.
Like,
Why the fuck not?
how crazy would it be if Chris Jericho wins at Wrestle Kingdom? What?
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about it yesterday. Because the next big thing after Wrestle Kingdom, immediately for New Japan, they have a little like fallout thing that happens like the Monday night after WrestleMania sort of stuff. They do that. They have like an after couple of shows. And then the first big event for the next month of like January into February is New Japan Cup. So the title holders don't...
Don't forget New Beginning.
It's New Beginning, then New Japan Cup?
Yeah. That's something like that, yeah.
Are you sure? Because I
New
thought
Beginning
it was New
is
Japan
the
Cup.
first show after the first big show after Wrestle
Okay.
Kingdom. New Beginning, pretty much a lot of stuff is, there's a lot of rematches, but titles have changed hands on New Beginnings several years in a row, and that could very well happen. But then, like you were saying, the Cup is the next big opportunity for anybody outside of anybody new to the United States, the IWGP United States title picture. New Japan Cup.
Because the New Japan Cup, if you win that, you get a title shot of your choice.
Yep. Anytime.
So depending on what happens there, he could
title.
he could just disappear. He can do the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And just disappear because he doesn't have to be around all the time.
Nope.
Because he's Chris Jericho. Why the fuck would he need to be around all the time?
When your choices are the Never, the Intercontinental, the Heavyweight, and the United States Championships, not 9 times out of 10 you're going to go for the Heavyweight title unless you got a feud with a guy who's got one of those other titles.
Right. Or one of those guys happens to be Chris fucking Jericho. Like seriously, regardless of who has the heavyweight, if I'm a guy in New Japan, and because you think about this in the way if you predict it as real, if I'm a guy as a competitor in New Japan and Chris Jericho has a title, I don't care what title he has. I'm fighting whatever Chris Jericho has because he's Chris fucking Jericho.
You especially do if you're in the BC.
Yeah. Or anybody. Like if Tanahashi, imagine he wins. Yeah. I'll take Jericho Tanahashi.
Go Ace.
Yeah. Or what? Well, we don't even know who's going to be in the New Japan Cup at this point. That's way months in advance. But the idea is if he wins, he could be in New Japan for like 6 months and be fine and do very limited
of dates around your tour with Fozzy.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy world we live in right now, Josh. It's a crazy world. Clash of Champions happened though this weekend as well.
Yeah, we were out of that within 2-3 matches. Old Blackberry took the lead and held on to it till the end.
Oh yeah, she went undefeated this week. I didn't realize that you were saying Lola because it sounded like you just went oh. But Lola went 6-0.
Yes.
And just crushed everything.
Well, no. She didn't know it goes. It was.
Yeah,
it was,
she won. She picked everything right.
Yeah, she got everything right. She didn't get anything wrong.
Yeah, she went undefeated. She whooped our ass. I beat you though, so there's a.
Yeah, by like 1 point.
It doesn't matter
she
how.
Beat you by
an inch or a mile. I still beat you.
She beat you by
2.
1 point. It was 1 or 2.
I had 4.
Yeah.
I went 4 and 2. You went 3.
It was
and
5,
3.
4, 3, something like that. Yeah.
No, I had 4. You had 3. She had 6. You lost. Anyway, a good show. I thought it was a great show. I had a great time.
We had a good time. The only thing I think it was a great show start to finish. The thing that was a little weird was the Lumberjill match.
Yeah,
got a little weird.
And
I think there's too much
there's too much
focus on Lumberjills beating up people in the ring instead of each other. I'd rather they kick the shit out of each other more.
Yeah, it just it's like you have 6 heels that don't know what to do with each other.
For real. And then after that,
There's only like 2 faces on SmackDown Live now.
Exactly. And then after that, you get a weird promo by Natty who's just like, "I'm turning my back on you again." I'm like, you haven't had your back turned to us this whole time? I think people mistook that as a heel turn when she's been heel. It's more like, I'm going away for a while. Fuck you guys, is what she's trying to say.
Screw you guys.
I'm going home. I'm gonna get my own. Why am I doing that? I'm gonna get my own Total Divas spin-off show like the Bellas did. It's and call it Me and Anvil, something like that. Something like that.
Me and Two Paws, maybe a Two Paws exclusive show.
Biggest star in IG.
But yeah, the women's thing was a bit of a clusterfuck.
Oh yeah.
The
without a doubt
tag match with Shinsuke, Randy, Daniel Bryan, Shane, Kevin Owens.
We'll talk about cluster. Jesus Christ.
And Sami Zayn was also a bit of a clusterfuck.
Absolutely. It took forever to get anywhere because they were constantly trying to.
No.
Yeah, you go ahead.
And the Fatal 4-Way tag. A bit of a clusterfuck there because they were trying to split the ring. And it's like, why is everybody trying to split the ring? The thing that made the tag title match a little bit weird was the fact that it was a Fatal 4-Way, but you can tag. Yeah. Which doesn't make sense because if it's a if you keep telling me it's no DQ, then why is there a rule that I have to tag a guy?
Yeah.
If I can just beat the hell out of him however I want, then why does a tag need to be made? Just have 8 bodies flying all over the place.
Typically, it's 2 legal guys you have to keep track of. If you're going to do that, you can only have 2 legal guys. But in this situation, 4 legal guys.
Right.
What? That's
just
insane.
Just put the tornado rule on there.
Exactly. Might as well just be tornado rule, and whoever's in the ring is considered legal.
I would have been okay. I thought they were going to do it survival style with 2, like you said, 2 guys in the ring, and you can tag anybody on the outside because we've seen those done right and well to where they're incredibly entertaining. Don't get me wrong. The match ended up like it had that weird little segment in the middle where it was slow and meh, but then it picked up real fast and ended up being really fun. Mm-hmm. So
Suplexes
I mean,
for everybody.
MVP of the weekend for that one is Chad Gable. You want to talk about having a coming out party at Clash of Champions? Chad fucking Gable.
I disagree,
man.
Sir. It was by far Rusev Day.
Oh yeah, that too. Rusev Day is on a roll right now. I love it.
Literally, Boston's just eating out of his hand, out of him and Aiden's hands, and it was great. That makes Rusev very happy, and Rusev's happy. We're all happy.
The tag match on Monday night or Tuesday night too, with the fucking costumes and everything.
Like how'd that meeting start? Like, all right, guys, we got the same tag team match you've seen already the week before. How do we make this different?
And Rusev Day, fun Rusev is the best Rusev because he's still an asshole about it.
Rusev Claus.
There's only one list. It's the naughty list.
And you're all on it. Even me? No, not you.
But yeah, that backstage thing that they did, it's Rusev just being a lunatic.
You flapped the wrong jack, sucker. Big E is he's beating out Booker T with insanity that he says. It's great. Love it.
It's really good. And I mean, it's so good. I loved it.
That was the best part of Tuesday. That was probably the best part of Tuesday.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
Was
a tag team match we've already seen, but enjoyed the shit out of.
The biggest news from Clash of Champions that I could really think of: Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, okay.
United States champion. Thank you.
Are you that thankful?
Yeah,
I love it. Thankful?
I loved it
because the next night he wasn't. He didn't give 2 fucks.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Now we're sitting. Well, but first off, that could have been maybe match of the night. That triple threat match.
I have to watch it over.
It's great. It's a great fucking match.
Yes.
Like everybody that was kind of iffy going into it, fucking great. I loved it. The finish was awesome. That was a great finish. You got Bobby Roode taking the end of days as Dolph Ziggler comes up to Baron Corbin and gives him a zigzag all at the same time. So he knocks out 2 guys at once with the zigzag and comes away with the win. Look, I've been waiting for the Dolph Ziggler bandwagon train to get fucking moving forever. The only reason I got off the damn bandwagon is because it stopped fucking moving. Okay? I've been waiting for this for a long time. And this is finally something super interesting. Even if he leaves the company, I'm super excited.
I think that's what made it interesting. What even made it even more interesting was not only did he pull away with the win, but then he goes, but you know what? You guys weren't worth it. And then just puts the title in the ring and walks out.
I now need to see what happens.
Yes.
Now you need a reason to know what's going on with the U.S. title, what's going on with Dolph Ziggler. Does Baron... A lot of questions start to form, and now you're interested in this title, in where Dolph Ziggler is, who's going to replace things. I'm excited. Because even if Dolph Ziggler actually... Because the outside the world of the TV show news is that he's unhappy, and something's got to change, and he has to, in his own words, and I'll paraphrase here, something's got to happen, and I've got to make a decision. Do I want to stay here, or are they going to give me something and we can maybe move on? Or do I have to go away and be the man somewhere else?
And then he wins the title and goes, you know what? This is great and all, but too little, too fucking late.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Maybe he shows up somewhere else.
Before the Dolph bandwagon starts up again, the conductor goes, nope, we're not doing this again.
Hey, that
it
doesn't
off and
mean
walks out.
he's not going to fucking show up and be the man somewhere else. And that fucking bandwagon's going to... I'm the first person in line in that bandwagon. Like, I'll buy all of his merch. I'll buy the Nick Nemeth merch like crazy.
You got the biggest cheerleader here, Nikki merch. You gotta say
I got Nikki
merch.
I need some Nikki merch.
I need some Nikki.
Give it to me. I'm all in, dude. Like, he can... If he goes onto the independents within however long it takes for him to go with the non-compete after letting his contract go or something like that, if that's what happens, I'm not saying it is, but if that's what happens, it's going to be legendary. He's going to have a legendary independent run.
What if Dolph Ziggler pulled a Chris Jericho? He starts showing up on other shows, and people are like, wait, isn't he contracted with WWE? That's the perfect thing to talk about.
Exactly.
Perfect reason to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe his contract's done. Maybe it's
congratulations, Vince. You might have hooked us back in on Dolph Ziggler.
I hope so.
We'll see in that. We'll see next couple weeks.
I really hope so.
I don't expect him to be at the Rumble.
No.
Absolutely not.
I hope not.
I hope not. Actually, I hope not.
Look,
either.
if he gets an... I'm telling you, if Dolph Ziggler goes to the Indies, you have to watch it.
I think this is...
Could you imagine him wrestling at PWG?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking bananas. No, I mean, like, it'd be bananas.
Absolutely. That's what everybody will be talking about for weeks.
Yeah.
For weeks.
Months, even. No, the cycle doesn't go that long. Never mind.
A hashtag is done in like 2 weeks flat on Twitter, man.
Not even 2 weeks. You're over
maybe 2 weeks.
Day and a half.
Some of them. Yeah, some of them.
So, AJ can wrestle a broom.
Yes. Jinder Mahal is not a broom.
He's not a broom.
Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles put on a great, a classic wrestling main event that you can write home about.
Yes, it was.
Watch this match. This was an awesome match.
It was a very good match.
The Sings did their part. They were rejected. They were ejected.
They were beaten soundly. They were beaten soundly. They were eliminated from the competition.
They were no longer a factor.
Correct.
in this match.
Yes,
and it was an awesome match.
I would say it was very good, not pretty awesome.
Oh my God! I'm talking.
There's a variance there. Like, hey, that's pretty good. It's like, that's fucking awesome.
No. Good. It wasn't a B+. It was a B. come on, man. Come on.
Pretty much.
Give me that. Give him that.
Awesome is an A range.
That
A is for
that
awesome.
Was a great
sir.
match.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
I'd like to see more of that down the road.
The Jinder Mahal title run is not the worst title run we've ever seen.
There have been absolutely worse champions.
Oh, yeah.
None of that was, and I'm still going to stick by it, none of that was his fault.
No.
Just some things didn't pan out on it. Some things didn't go as well on his run, and it was probably a good idea to stop it there and we'll pick that back up again when the time is right. Maybe.
Yeah, it's curious to see what happens to him after this.
Yeah,
for sure. Because I
don't see him going anywhere.
This was my biggest problem with SmackDown this week, though, is that we kind of just took a break and pushed those stories.
Kick the can down the road.
Yeah, for another week. Like, we didn't move them anywhere after Clash of Champions, which is what I was really hoping for on Tuesday. And that's why I was disappointed with SmackDown this week, is because they didn't really move anything down the road.
It feels like SmackDown this last month has been like, oh, what happened on Raw yesterday? All right, we'll go from that.
Right.
That's what
And don't get me wrong, Women's Royal Rumble is huge news. But you got to have something else.
Yeah, you gotta have a...
Like they barely even moved with the Kevin Owens.
Yeah, there's no women's stories right now.
No,
zero. And SmackDown, zero.
There's what happened on SmackDown was we got the Daniel Bryan Shane fallout from the main event at Clash of Champions, which you didn't get into. Long story short, Shane screws Kevin or Daniel Bryan takes a quote unquote bump. And he gets pushed into Shane when he's making the 3 count on a phenomenal RKO. But by the way, main event it should have been main event. Was very good. Like it went kind of exactly the way I was hoping it was going to go.
It was clustery, very slow in the beginning. Because having 2 referees is not the first time there's been 2 referees. But I gotta say that they don't often have 2 referees in the ring at the same time.
So Shane gets pissed.
Yeah,
and then goes
he gets all emotional again.
Yeah, he gets pissed, and when Kevin and Sammy try to make a pinfall that they should obviously have, he holds up at 2. Daniel Bryan gets pissed, so when Sammy goes to roll up Randy, he gives him the quick count and wraps it up and gets out. They have a bit of a confrontation on Tuesday that really doesn't go anywhere other than the fact that Daniel says they start getting in each other's faces, and they really are teasing this Daniel Bryan Shane McMahon fight that if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
But don't tease me if you're not gonna do it.
Don't tease me with a Ring of Honor faction and then just be like, no, we're totally not doing that. And whether or not there's going to be a match with Shane is still up in the air.
Don't tease Daniel Bryan getting into the ring for a match if you're not gonna do it. Because that'll just annoy me at the end of the day.
I know this could be that 20% DB was talking about.
Right.
This could be that 20%.
And I hope it is.
But things can change on a dime, just like that.
Right. I would love to see Daniel Bryan Shane at Mania. Are you kidding me? Of course I would. They'd blow the roof off the building. The fact that he's even in the ring, but just don't keep doing this, because if you keep doing that and you keep like teasing me and teasing me and teasing me enough, I'm just gonna say fuck you. Stop fucking with me. If just do it or don't. And that's what usually frustrates me. Is don't
wait. Well, this is kind of like the Woken thing a couple months ago. Like, you just got to wait to see when if it will happen, the opportunity will come. Unfortunately, it's still 3-4 months from WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. That's just my biggest thing with SmackDown. It's like after Clash of Champions, we now have to wait till probably after Christmas to start figuring out where this show is going. So we're in this like limbo area, and it's
this
not
is
exactly
why we do
fun.
vacay around this time.
Yeah, that's true.
Wrestling's in limbo. Indie wrestling doesn't miss a whole lot of steps, so there's that to watch.
Mm-hmm. And then we have let's go into Monday Night Raw, because we haven't really touched Monday Night Raw. The biggest news from Monday Night Raw coming out of Monday is have now resolved that mess of a fucking situation that was last Monday. And now that we know who Brock Lesnar's #1 contender is at the Royal Rumble, it is both Braun Strowman.
That's the funny part is this is how you took it while it was happening. It's just like, it's going to be a triple threat, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a triple threat. Kurt makes the announcement. It's a triple threat. Yeah, we all know that, Kurt.
Like, we saw this coming.
The way he did it, though, was funny, though. It's just like, announcement, catchphrase, bye, and then gets out of the ring.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like, oh my God, there's 3 giant monsters in here. All right, look, it's going to be you versus you versus you. I'm out of here.
It's true. It's damn true. Bye.
It doesn't need to be a triple threat, though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's probably their way to save Brock
and
make Brock look strong.
Save Brock and Braun possibly for WrestleMania.
And the
Possibly,
obvious answer is obvious that you're going to assume here. Kane takes the pinfall over somebody.
Yeah.
So Brock doesn't pin Braun. Braun doesn't pin Brock. Sort of thing.
They could swerve us like last year, and we
If
can
they give Kane the fucking title,
if we get a
I
Kane run,
swear to God,
like a Goldberg
I
run,
swear to God, if they give Kane the goddamn title,
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No, God!
no.
No, God, please, no! No!
Delete!
Howard becomes Twitter on a regular basis.
No.
He embodies
No,
Twitter.
no.
All
That's
the
all I have to say
negativity.
about that. Kane is Universal Champion. That's my reaction from right now. If you tell me that Kane's winning, oh my!
I will go to Philly and set that place on fire.
The only thing that might make it better would be Finn Balor winning the Rumble and then fighting Kane at Mania. But I don't give a shit about Kane at WrestleMania.
That's still a womp womp of a booking.
It's a fucking what the hell are we doing here?
Because it's mind-boggling.
I don't know, man.
Mind boggling. Boggling.
I'm trying not to put that into the universe because it might actually fucking happen. Yeah, it would be cool that Finn could win at WrestleMania, but oh, son of a bitch.
We're still in love with Shinsuke winning
Yes.
WrestleMania.
Yes.
Because as of right now, AJ as the world champion, Shinsuke as your Royal Rumble winner, the stars will align and everything will be. Well, I'll actually have a big match to look forward to at WrestleMania. Previous WrestleManias had some okay matches, nothing too big personally for me. I'm not sure how you felt about that, but that would be something I really want to see.
It was a lot of mainstream appeal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At Mania,
a lot of curbside.
This year you could have a lot of fresh faces for the first time. Really into some headlining roles.
Yeah.
Theoretically. There's the possibility.
You're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. Other things on Raw, though. The Revival are back.
FTRR.
It's a goddamn time. Thank God. Thank God.
We said yeah.
We certainly did, sir. They came out. They stomped some folks. I'm sitting there like, Slater and Rhino? Yeah, cool. Slater and Rhino are here. And then we say, yeah. All right, yes, they're back.
Yeah.
About fucking time. About fucking time.
Slater and Rhino having a little having a quick seg afterwards, going like, man, we gotta do something different.
Yeah.
We gotta start winning.
Oh, that was the other thing. Speaking of backstage stuff, that was another thing that I really liked from Clash of Champions, was they did a lot of backstagey interviews things. Like things were happening constantly throughout that show to keep you engaged with interviews of people that either just got out of I don't like the in-ring after a match interview.
They're kind of like, what the fuck?
I don't like, especially to the person that lost.
Yeah, right?
Like, get out of here. Do that backstage.
Well, there's a reason when they do that.
Sometimes.
Dasha breaks up teams. That's what happens. Dasha is a Charlie. Charlie.
It's one of them. But yeah, there was a lot of all of that stuff happening backstage to keep you, like the Singh brothers getting an interview. It's the old Mean Gene thing where it was like WrestleMania, early WrestleManias and SummerSlams and stuff. They were going backstage to talk to the guys that just won. Royal Rumble 90, when Ric Flair won. That was a post-Royal Rumble interview with Mean Gene with the tear in my eye line and stuff. Yeah. All that stuff. Or
outside of my children being born, this is the greatest day of my life.
Right, exactly. That sort of stuff. So, you get to see that a lot more. I like stuff like that. It adds to the show to me. So the Revival are back. Guess who else is here? Speaking of tag teamy stuff, Finn Balor had a great tag team partner bail him out during a 2-on-1 match that we weren't expecting. Please, let's go with Finn Balor and Hideo Itami as a tag team.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Doesn't have to be a 205 Live seg. It could it was a Raw match.
Yeah,
on Raw.
These are the same guys that won the Dusty Tag Team Classic, which I wish they would bring back. I don't know why it disappeared this year. Like, it didn't happen this year, and I don't know why.
Well, no, he. Funny thing, Hideo got hurt before the Dusty Tag Team Classic, so it was Finn and Joe, but that served the purpose.
Right.
Yeah. The fact that we're picking back up.
Sorry,
from
my bad.
The fact that we're picking up from 2015 is a good start.
Right. But I mean, I wish they would bring back that. Besides the point. Like, I don't know why it disappeared this year.
Tag team wrestling, it's hot and cold with this company, and
it looks like they're trying to
get a little hot again.
I really do hope that Finn gets into a legitimate tag team with Hideo Itami. I would, because if you're not going to do anything, because Finn, we were even discussing during Monday Night Raw, Finn's kind of lost right now. There's nothing for him on this show.
What the fuck is he doing?
Exactly. So, bolster your tag team division a little bit. Why not? I like Finn Balor. I like Finn Balor a lot. I like Hideo Itami well enough, and they've already got a history with each other. Have them start working their way through the tag team. Let's get a Finn Balor, Hideo Itami revival feud, maybe. I don't know. You got people that work here. Let's fucking use them.
Be a couple of nerds.
Exactly. We have unfortunate news. We've got a little.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
The Iron Man, the guy that's been essentially unhurt for a long time and is just like a workhorse of workhorses. Dean fucking Ambrose is down with a pretty serious arm injury. He tore his tricep, I believe, was the announcement.
It was it was a lot of speculation if it was an elbow injury, but it was according to TWM.news, no fake stuff, all real. It was it was like a tricep tear, so he's going to be out
about 3 months
or
so.
3 months. That's not too bad. There was worse speculation that it was like an elbow, one of those important elbow ligament tears that would have been up to 9 months. Thank God it's none of that shit.
Sidelines for a number of months after aggravating an already existing injury. I had a feeling it was one of those things that was already around. MRI shown suspicion of a high-grade triceps tendon injury, possibly a tear. He's undergoing surgical exploration and most likely surgical repair of the triceps tendon. That surgery will be happening later this evening. We should have some further updates later tonight or tomorrow morning as to what the findings were, what the structures were damaged, and a timeline for recovery.
Not to knock him.
3 months maximum with that kind of injury, so he should be back by WrestleMania.
Not to knock him, but it's kind of not a surprise when you've been in the running for most wrestling matches wrestled in the last 2 years in a row.
And he's been running it hard. He's been a multiple-time champion of varying different kinds. He's overdue to get something fixed up, tuned up, checked out, sort of thing.
I can't imagine he'd be going this hard this long and have no problems. Right. But the fact that it's a small one, that hopefully
take this time to recharge the batteries, man. Just hang out.
This is 3 months, and then there's still a possibility of being on Mania. Sure,
cool. Chill out, relax. You've earned it, sir. If you want to talk about guys that deserve he doesn't deserve the injury, but I mean, like, just deserves a little bit of time off to relax a little bit. Dean's one of those dudes. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit regardless, but like, relax a little bit, have a margarita. No.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly, but you know what I mean? Like, because you get into that world for so long, and even they were saying it on like some of the Table for Threes and some of the interviews and stuff. You run it real hard, like 100 miles an hour all the time, 365 days a year, pretty much. So
almost.
You gotta Dean will be back. It's unfortunate to see him be down, so now you gotta kind of adjust some things with the tag teams and the Shield and stuff.
Mainly the Shield. What are you going to do with that?
So we got to figure out what to do there. But he should be back by Mania. I'm not too worried about it. It's unfortunate that he's hurt, but it is what it is. We have a new number one contender to the Cruiserweight title.
We do? Yeah, that's right.
We do. Cedric Alexander took Drew Gulak for a W, and he is your new Cruiserweight number one contender. We should be getting that. Is that going to happen at Rumble?
That's probably going to happen at Rumble.
Okay, so we'll have that at Rumble. But the
most really annoyed if that happened on 205 Live before Rumble.
Right. But the more important thing that has come out of that is Drew Gulak is my favorite character on most of TV right now. He is one of my favorites because he shows up as Enzo is kind of
sweet talking.
Sweet, yeah. They're having a little. They're having a moment.
Finding out what Naya's doing.
Exactly.
How you doing?
Backstage, and then Drew Gulak comes stumbling in after a loss to Cedric Alexander. Blood on his face. He's got like freaking the bandages up his nose, sticking out. Like, I'm sorry, Enzo.
Don't worry.
I'm sorry. I got.
We could totally win. Look, we just need to review some tape. Go over some stuff. We can totally get. We can totally get. Don't worry, man. No! I can avenge this loss in the rematch.
And then you just Naya ends up just walking away.
Naya walks away. Enzo's just staring off in the distance, like, son of
this motherfucker right here. I don't care. I don't understand you people who just hate Enzo Amore out there.
Or 205 Live in general. Like, that's one of the best parts.
It's not the 205 Live in general. I kept just not enjoying that as much as some of the other stuff. But the unnecessary blind hate for Enzo Amore is stupid.
Enzo Amore is 205 Live now.
He is entertaining. The Drew Gulak segments are awesome.
There are people out there going, running their mouths, throwing the shade that the reason why they hope the 205 Live tour doesn't sell so well, so they could just drop it all. Are you fucking stupid? They're booking dates on a tour to make money. There's no reason. They don't have to prove to anybody about anything except that this is going to be a successful brand. Enough of that fucking negativity. Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's most of. Like, did we miss anything seriously here? I feel like we did. I always feel like we do.
We missed that.
Yell at us if we. You know what? If you feel like we've missed stuff for this week, how far are we in? We at full time yet? Yeah, we're way over time.
Way over time.
I had a feeling we were. The only thing I didn't really enjoy this week too much is kind of nitpicky, and I'm over it. Like the women, like with Stephanie coming in and interrupting a brawl, like that. You couldn't just like interrupt the match as it like come on, like you couldn't just do this announcement and say
rather she maybe
I would the nitpicky part of it is I would have had her interrupt the ref starting the match, like the ref's about to ring the bell, because you take a 10-minute segment or something leading into that, do the full entrances on TV, all that shit, and then go the ref's about to go ring the bell, and then Stephanie's music hits instead, and then she comes out and it says, I need to stop a minute. Everybody else get out here too. That sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of making it like everything has to stop because it's about you. It just felt awkward. Like you're in the middle of a fucking fight, and then everybody's supposed to stop and hug and kiss and everything. I can tell you.
Well, hey, I think I can tell you why they did that was because you might have robbed the audience of a women's match. Yeah, it was a tag match you've seen before, but rob them of a match to make an announcement, because it would have been weird if you made the announcement. It goes, okay, myself and all these other ladies that are not part of the match.
No, just fade to black.
You
could just, because it looked like they were also getting that announced and they had no idea.
No,
it looked like they really didn't know, which is entirely possible.
Some shocked faces on there.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just that's the only nitpicky sort of shit that I had. Same thing with and then the old. I just wish SmackDown would fucking. Let's move some stuff here.
I'll tell you what, they're having some fun on the social with the booking the MMC. They're having some real fun with that. You see, now you're like, I just want to tell everybody I found my partner, and let's go talk to him. She's waiting by the door. Door opens. It's Braun. Still a little slap in.
Hey, Braun.
Hey, Braun. You gonna be my tag team partner, right? Don't touch me. Great. This is gonna be awesome. And just walk away.
So, anything else that you had in mind that you wanted to push, tell people about? Things like that. When you interact with us on the Twitter machines, let us know some of your hashtag WHPC awards nominations. We did tag teams this week. We did match of the year this week too. We got a lot of nominations for match of the year. Keep sending us all those things on Twitter, Instagram at the WHPC as well, Facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast. Things that
happened this year because we've probably purged our minds of them.
Yeah, please.
And a quick reminder would definitely help, especially
Golden.
With the
any nominations you have that we haven't gotten to on social, let us know. We'll do give us your wrestler of the year. We're at that time. We're not going to have a show next week, or we will have a show next week. We'll give you guys something, a show, but it won't be a quote-unquote traditional episode of the show.
It won't be this. It
won't be this fucking train wreck.
It won't be, I was going to say, it won't be as train wrecky as usual. There will be a clear, concise goal.
Theoretically.
And it will conclude nicely.
Theoretically. But yeah, start sending us your wrestlers of the year, male and or female. Top 5s always work. I'm fine with either of them. And any other awards that you may or may not have given us on the Twitter, on the Facebook, at the WHPC, facebook.com/World Heavyweight Podcast. WorldHeavyweightPodcast.podbean.com is the source for all of your stuff. And as always, I'm Howie Farrell with that over there.
We'll see you
guys next week.
Stadler? Yeah, what?
Is that it?
Yes, it's over. How'd you like it?
I don't know. I slept through the whole thing.
Well, you didn't miss much.